So let us assume that. So this is the condition we have written yesterday. So let us say my employee manager or manager wants to see the list of employees who are working in Chennai city. Okay. So in SQL Server, what you will do? You will write a condition like this. No. So if my manager wants to see the list of employees who are working in Chennai city. So apart from the existing condition, you will go and write a condition like this: table underscore employee master. Okay, where EMP city is equal to Chennai. Okay, so let me use our database. We are working on DB underscore group. No? Okay, we are getting 3 records. Okay, from Chennai city. Okay, who are working in Chennai city. Okay, so for the first condition, how many records we are getting? So we are getting 10 records. Okay, and for the second condition, we are getting 3 records. Okay, we are getting 3 records. Now I will apply this condition in the SSIS side also. I will go to this. Okay, now let me go and apply this condition. Okay, so I want to apply condition on city column. No, so let us go and drag and drop the city column, and I will apply the condition like this: equal to Chennai. Okay, so I will go and apply equal to Chennai like this. But here it is showing it as red color. Red color means the syntax error is there. Okay, so in SSIS, okay, if you write directly like SQL statement, it won't work here. It has separate syntax. Okay, the equal to should always represent with double equal to. Okay, here equal to should always separate. Should always specify with double equal to, and still it is showing some error. So here the single quotes, okay, should replaced with double quotes. Okay, so now you can see we are getting this syntax error, not getting the syntax error. And we know that SSIS is case sensitive, no? So it will treat small c Chennai and capital C Chennai as different cities. So what we will do is we will make this as all the letters as smaller case. Okay, all the letters are smaller case, and the column, so we will convert them into lower of employees. So the columns values will convert to lowercase and then compare with the small letters. Okay, since exercise is case sensitive. Now I will give some pipeline or output name. Let us say this as Chennai city records. Okay, Chennai city records like this. We'll name it as Chennai city records. Okay. Now, as per our expectation, so this condition, first condition should get 10 records. Okay, as per SQL. So the first condition should get 10 records. Okay, and this condition should get 3 records. Okay, should get 3 records. So out of total 18 records. Okay, this is total is 18 records. So 10 plus 3, 13, and 5 records should go into this pipeline. 5 records should go into this pipeline. Okay, that is preparing default method. Now let us see whether it will work out as per our expectation or not. Now click on OK. Now once you click on this, okay, so now you can see when I go to the conditional split, so it is showing one more arrow. So that one more arrow represents the city Chennai records. Okay, now let me go and put one more. I want to put that values into one of the destination. So let me take the flat file destination. Okay, like this. Okay, let me go for this and let me create a new connection to store the city records. Let me select the delimiter as the separator. Let me go for browse. అవును లోపల వచ్చి so let me give the name as Chennai City Records, okay, for the text file. Okay, Chennai City Records.txt file. Do you want the column names in the first row? Yes, I want column names in the first row. Click on OK. Now go to the mapping. So map your input columns and the destination columns. Click on OK. Okay. So if you let us give some output destination names also. Let us say this is salary creator. Okay, 25k records. So this is Chennai City Records. Okay, so this is salary less 25k. Okay, now let us go and execute and let us see how it behaves. So here you can see that for the first one, okay, 10 records are coming, which is matching with the SQL side. Okay, SQL output also. Now for Chennai City Records, you can see we are getting only one record out here in the output. So, but we are expecting three records. So it is giving only one record as output. Why? Any guessing why it is giving only one record? Why? Because let us see. So when I execute this condition, no, execute this query. So there are two Chennai cities, okay, for two employees who are coming from the who belongs to the Chennai city. So their salary is 50,000. Means their salary is greater than 25,000. Okay. So because of that reason, so we can go and see that. So here inside the conditional split, how the conditions will work is, so this first condition, so total how many records we have? Total we have 18 records. Total we have 18 records. So this first condition, so we'll apply on total 18 records. Okay. We'll apply on total 18 records, and the number of records satisfying this condition is 10 records, no? So the remaining records is 8 records. Okay. So the first condition will apply on 18 records, total records, and out of this condition satisfied by 10 records. Okay. And the second condition, okay, this condition will be applied on the remaining 8 records, not on the total 18. Okay. And in this 10, already two employees of Chennai are already moved out. Okay. So by the first condition, okay, so these two Chennai city records, okay, these two Chennai city records are having salary greater than 25,000. So these two are already already pushed into the first pipeline. Okay. And with this condition, only one is left out. Okay, only the third record is left out. Okay, so that's why we are getting only one record. So if you want to see, let us see one more time. Okay, let me put the data viewer here. So let me put the data viewer here. Now let us see this also. Now I want to just see the output before pushing the data. Okay. So now we can see that. So this is the salary greater 25,000 K. Now you can see two Chennai records are already pushed into this pipeline. Two Chennai records are already pushed into this pipeline. Okay. Now you can see because of that reason we have only one employee. Okay, one record is coming in the Chennai city records output. Okay, so that is how the condition split works. Okay, if you have multiple conditions, okay, so the first condition will be applied on the total records, and the second condition will be applied on the remaining records. Okay, but my customer asked, no, no, Krishna, I need to separate the Chennai city separately. I need to separate the somehow. I need to separate the Chennai city employees from the list. There are two options. One is I can go and put this as a first condition so that this condition will be applied on total 18 records. Now let us see. Can we change the order of conditions? Yes, we can change it. Just to select that one and put it in the first. Now what will happen is, case we can see that salary greater 25K is getting only 8 records now, and you can see salary equal to employee city equal to Chennai records, we are getting the 3 records now. Okay, so if your customer wants Chennai city employees as the first condition, we can go and change the order of the condition. But now this first one, employee greater than 25k. Now earlier in SQL it is coming it as 10. Okay, SQL it is coming it as 10, but in SSIS again it has become 8. But again your customer has come and say, hey Krishna, please, I am expecting the output as per the SQL server. Okay, so if you said I'm expecting the output as per SQL, means if for the first condition, okay, he should get, for the first condition he should get 10 records. Okay, for the second condition also he should get 3 records. Okay, he should get 3 records, and who are less than 25k, I think there were 8 records. Okay, he should get 8 records for this. Okay, so is it possible to get the output same as SQL server? Yes. How to do that is, let me show you. So let me show you. Let me make it as example 2. Okay. Let me go to this. Okay. Now, before this conditional split, what I can do is I can use multicast. Okay. Or let me delete all those things. Okay. I can use the multicast. So what is this multicast means? So you can see here, it can take one output and it will give, okay, it will take one input. Okay, it will take one copy of the input and it will divide them into multiple copies. Okay, and it will give multiple copies of the same input, same source. It's like a Xerox machine. Okay, so it will take one copy and spread or gives multiple copies of the same source. Okay, now one copy, okay, I will go and put it in the one copy. I will go and put it in the one conditional split. Okay, so here I will write a condition on the salary, where salary greater than 25,000. Okay, and I will put them into salary greater 25k. Okay, and the remaining salaries I can send them into salary less, okay, 25k. Okay, like this. Okay, so I will put this. Okay, the conditional split, I will give this salary greater 25k less than 25k. Okay, the remaining records will be pushed with us less than 25k. So here we can go for this, and let me go for, okay, so I will divide the data like this. Okay, now I will take one more conditional split here. Okay, and I will take one more copy from the multicast. Okay, and here I will write a condition like, so EMP city equal to Chennai. Okay, like this. Noira of EMP city equal to Chennai, and let us give the output pipeline name as Chennai city records. Okay, like this. Okay, and you will push the Chennai city records into this. Okay, that's it. Now you can go and see. See now this multicast, he is sending the 18 records into this pipeline, and again one more copy of the data, source data 18 records into the second pipeline. Okay, now you can see we are getting 25K 10 records, and we are getting Chennai city records 3 records here. Okay, now the remaining who are less than 25K 8 records are sent into this destination. Okay, now the output is matching with our SQL server output. Okay, so for this we are getting 10 records. For city Chennai we are getting 3 records, so here also we are getting the same output. Okay, so by taking the multicast, okay, we can split the data, we can split the source data and give multiple copies. Not only 2 copies, it can give n number of copies. Okay, so that's why it's named as multicast. Okay, it will work like a Xerox machine. Okay, understood? So this is about the conditional split. Okay, so any doubts in this? So can I go for another one? Okay, so let me go for derived column.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So let me send some input data into this. Okay, so as the name suggests, we can derive a column. Okay, we can derive a column using this derived column transformation. That is, if you want to add a new column, let us say from your source data, okay, you are getting some 5 columns. Okay, from your source table you are getting 5 columns, and if you want to add some extra columns based on some calculations or based on some expressions, okay, so in that cases we can go and use this derived column transformation. Okay, now let us see. So let me take this source. Okay, or you can take any flat file source whatever you want. Okay, it is not necessary always you should go for this source, but I have some data, no, so that's why I'm taking. Let me take some flat file source. Okay, so here you can go and see we have just 4 columns here. Let me take this. Okay, because we have some huge number of columns where we can apply the calculations, so let me go for this. So let me take the OLEDB source. Okay, now let me go for dbbrook and let us take if you want. So either you can go and select the table here. Okay, either you can go and select the table here, or if you want to write a query, you can go and select the SQL command. Okay, Now let us go for select star from table underscore employee master. Okay. Now let us go on preview. Okay, we are able to go on preview that. Okay, click on OK. Okay, so now you can see that. So I have passed the data to the derived column transformation. I have passed the data to the derived column transformation, and I can go to these columns. Now here you can go and see that. So those columns are coming here. Now on any column, okay, on any column, okay, if you want to apply some condition, you can go and apply that condition here. Okay, so let us go and see that. Uh, so let us say we have the salary column now. So let us say I want to write a expression on this salary column. So this is the uh, monthly salary we are showing up here. I want to show the annual salary. Okay, so I want to write some expression on the salary column like salary into let us say something like 12. So which will give me the annual salary value. Okay, so I'm writing some expression here, and after writing some expression I can go and specify whether do you want to add this output as a new column or do you want to replace any existing columns. Okay, do you want to replace any existing columns? You can go and specify I want to add as a new column, and let us give the new column name. So let us say this column name as annual salary. Okay, like this. So like that, we can write any expressions here as per your requirement. You can go and write. Okay, you can go and write any expressions here. We can generate row numbers, or we can generate. So let us say if anybody is updating. Okay, if anybody is updating your data and you want to give today's date as updated date, let me go and put. You can go and put get date. Okay, so get date will show me the today's date, and you can make it as add as a new column, and you can give a you can give a column name as date updated. Okay, like this. Now let us say you want to show employee city in uppercase. Okay, so I want to go and convert the employee city in uppercase. Okay, you can go and write upper. Okay, now the city value will be shown in the uppercase, and here I don't want to add this as a new column. I just want to, if you want to just replace the existing column data, you can go and select the replace EMPCT option. Okay, now after applying this condition, after applying this expression, okay, or this function, it won't replace, it won't add as a new column, it will just replace the existing column. Okay, and if you want to see that, here you can go and see. So now it is going for database DB date. Okay, now if you want to apply any date functions here. Okay, so if you want to add any date, add if you want to add 10 days. Okay, or if you want to show only month of the date. Okay, or year of date of join, you can go and write just use those expressions here. Year of date of join, like this. Year of date of join, like this. So this, if you have any syntax issues, okay, means if you don't know what is the syntax you want to use, okay, in those cases you can go and use this syntax information here. So you can see it will show this information date and okay, along with the syntax it will show the what is the syntax and what is the description also it will show here. Okay, so you can see that we have applied this power route, whatever the expressions you want to apply, all those will be shown here. Okay, suppose if I want to write a, let us say, so this year of date of join is showing the year value. Now let us see, we have month of date of join also is there. Okay, Now let me go for month of date of join. So which will show me the month number here. If I go and put month of date of join, okay, so it will show me the, okay, it will show me the month number here. Okay, and here for year of date of join, let us give the column name as date of join here. Okay, now this will show me the month number. If I go and put month of date of join, will give me the month number here. But I don't want to show the month number. I want to show the month name. So if it is January, I just want to show it as JAN. If it is February, I want to show it as FEB like that. Okay, but if I go and see, if I just put month, it will give me the month number. If you go and see, if I go and put select month of get date means today's date, okay, which will show me the month number as 6. Okay, but in SQL Server we have a date function, date name of, you can see we have a date name of month comma, okay, so which will give me the, this function will give me the month name as June. Okay, but in SSIS this date name function is not there. If I go and see here, date add is there, date diff is there, date part is there, but there is no date name function is not there. Then in this case, what we can do? But my customer is asking, no, Krishna, I want to see month name, not the month number. Then what we can do is we can write a case statement here. Okay, if, okay, month of date of join is equal to 1. If it is month of date of join is equal to 1, then let us go and write it as January. Okay, now again, if month of date of join, okay, if month of date of join, okay, if month of date of join is equal to 1, okay, then question mark, then write it as January. Okay, else let us say December. Okay, so what we are writing is month of date of join. Okay, let me put month of date of join. Okay, so month of date of join is equal to 1. I want to make it as, if it is equal to 1 January. Okay, let me see what is the month of date of join. 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so which will should be the, if it is equal to 1, let me go show it as January. Okay, else I want to show it as, okay, December. Okay, so now we need to just go and put the square brackets here. Okay, so we are getting this 4 byte signed integer, no? So because of that, let me go and make it as dt underscore str, okay, comma 20 comma 1252. Okay, let me go for this.
Should there be a comma after that one question mark?
No, equal to 1 then. So in case statement we will have a case and we will write the condition, no? And we will write the condition, and after that, so if it is, no, I don't think so. No. So it's like a condition, okay, and after that writing this question mark when, okay, then go for January. So here you can go and see up to this it is case. Let me go for 4 byte signed integer. Okay, now let me convert this into dtwstr. Okay, what happened? This should be correct only. Let me see.
So don't we need to specify get date?
No, I'm applying this on the date of join column.
Okay.
I want to apply this on the date of join column, not on this.
Yeah, it should be, I think January, February should be under quotation, and there should be space between one and the question mark.
No. So here you can see month of date of join will give me the month number. Okay, so if you go and see this one, so it is giving me the month number. Now it is, there is no error here. Okay, now what is this date of join? Okay, if this value is equal to 1, okay, if this value is equal to 1, okay, what I want to do case, then let me show it
Mhm.
as January. That's it.
Yes.
Let me show it as January. Okay, so here let me go and see case statement in SSIS 2012. Okay. Same thing we are writing here. So here if my value is equal to 1 first, okay, so okay, sorry, so what is the value in this days? Let me go for this. So if it is 1, okay, January, else, so instead of comma we need to put this as, so let us say December. Okay, yeah, so we should not use the comma here, we should use the colon here. Okay, so whatever written we have correct only, but we need to replace the colon here. Now let us write the second one. So if we can go and write if month of date of join, okay, if month of date of join is equal to 2. For the second statement, you can go and write if month of date of join is equal to 2, okay, then write that question mark, okay, and you can write February, okay, and colon. So instead of comma, we have to put the colon here. And now you can go and put like if month of date of join is equal to March, okay, 3 March, then 4 April. And finally, you can come to the statement like else part, okay. In the else part, you can go and put December, okay. So you can go and write up to the last to 11th, okay, up to November. And finally, in the else part, you can put December like this, okay. Now, do you want to add as a new column? Yes, I want to add as a new column. Let us say date of join, month value. Okay, like this. And let us say, so if you want to do any data conversion, so let us say this is gender or designation. So here right now it is coming it as Unicode string format. No? So the string value, city value, now you can see this is coming it as string. That is Unicode string. Now Unicode string means that is n varchar. Okay. Now can we convert this into varchar format? So can we convert the WSTR to string format? Now let us see. So to convert to the string format, we have one command called, okay, dtwt underscore str comma how much length you want, that is varchar of 20, and what is the code language, that is Latin English, that is the default code number is 1252. Okay, so this is for collation. Okay, so if you go and see, so now you can see 1252 is the ANSI Latin code page. Now here you can see we are able to convert the designation from WSTR to STR format. We are able to convert them into, okay, WSTR format to WSTR format to STR format, that is nvarchar to varchar. Okay, so using derived column we can change the data types, and as well as we can apply the conditions here. We can apply the conditions here. This. And do you want to add as a new column or do you want to replace the existing column? Yes, I want to replace the existing. Okay. So this is what the derived column will do. Okay. So now you can see apart from these columns, how many columns we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And 9 columns are already there. 9 plus 6. Okay, 9 plus 6, that will be 15 columns will be generated in the 9 plus, you can see we are replacing 2 columns. So 9 plus 4, extra 4 columns you are adding. So 9 plus 4, 13 columns will be shown in the output. Okay, now you can see if I just want to push the data into any one of the destination. So let us go for flat file destination. And let me create a new one with a delimiter. So now let us go for derived column. Okay, connection. Let us go on browse. I put the text file. Okay. Do you want column names? Yes. Go to the mappings. Okay, now you can see we are getting the new columns also here. Annual salary, date updated, date of join year, date of join month, like this. Okay. And if you want to see the destination before pushing the output, you can go and put the data viewer here. Okay, now let us go and execute this. So now we can see that. So we have annual salary. Okay, if his salary is 50,000, 50 into 12, that is okay, something like 6 lakhs is coming here. Okay, okay. Uh, you can go and see some 60 lakhs, 6,000, okay, 60,000, 6 lakhs is coming. And date updated. You can see we are showing the today's date as the date updated here. Okay, and now you can go and see date of year joined year. So what is the year 2015, 2017, that was also showing up here. And now you can see if his month is 1, then January, and if his month is 2, then February, like this you are showing. And for the all the remaining things we are showing it as else part is that showing it as December, no, that's why it is showing like this. Okay, so like this we can derive a column. Okay, and you are seeing more number of columns, and if you want to remove some unwanted columns, what we can do is, okay, so in the source itself, let us say from the source we can go and see columns. Okay, if you go to the column section, we are seeing the list of columns coming from the source. And if you think that some of the columns are unnecessary for your calculation or for your next steps, okay, so in the next steps you are doing the, let us say, some aggregation or any other logic like a conditional split or let us say derived column, and if you think that, okay, some of the columns I am unnecessarily passing in your or unnecessarily using in your SSIS package, we can remove those columns. Okay, see, you can go and remove the new salary. Now you can see, so this is the new salary is coming here. I just, if you don't want this column to be used in the next steps, you can remove that. And if you don't want gender column, you can remove that. If you don't want branch ID column, you can remove that. Okay, so now, okay, now you want to remove those columns, no? So date of join, salary is not coming up here. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, so let me go to this flat file connection, Chennai city. Okay, derived column connection, the column section. Okay, advanced. So we have this. We have unwanted deleted this branch ID, gender also we have deleted, new salary also we have deleted. Okay, so if you can go and delete it from the destination as well as from the, okay, now let us go and push this. Okay, now it will go to the mappings. So whatever the columns coming from this here, no, you are going to put up here. Okay, so in the source data, okay, in the source itself, we can go to the column section and you can remove the unwanted columns so that it can speed up your package execution. Okay, so means you are removing some button from the SSIS engine. Okay, so from now onwards, it don't need to carry that column data. Means you are removing the button from SSIS engine, means you are improving the performance of your package. Okay, it's like a select, it's like an SQL server. So you will write some select star from table name. So unnecessarily we are selecting all the columns. Instead of that, we can select only the required columns for your logics, for your SQL logic. Like that in the same way here. Okay, like this. Okay, Any doubts up to now? Let me execute this and let us see the output before execution. So now you can go and see all the values are only the selected columns are coming in the output here. Okay, like this. Okay, when you change the source columns, we can go and change it to the destination connection also. First of all, we have to go to the destination connection. Okay, so in this we have created one connection to derived column connection. So that's why I'm going to the derived column connection and I'm opening it. And here you can, in the advanced section, you can go and remove the unwanted columns. You can go and remove the unwanted columns. Okay, just select that column and delete it. Okay, if you, for this column, if any source column is not there, respective source column is not there, we can select it and delete it. That's it. Okay, so any doubts in this?
No,
Okay,
it's clear.
okay, so this is about the derived column transformation, and this is how the conditional split will behave when we have multiple conditions. Okay, can I stop now? So
Sure.
tomorrow, anyhow, I need to take SQL class, no? So if possible tomorrow evening. So is it okay for tomorrow evening also at 4 o'clock for you, Martha and Shamik? Or you have any plans to go outside, Shamik?
I have
Evening as in afternoon. I mean, India time, right?
Yes, yes, yes.